Good morning. Hope you got your cup of coffee. I am here to speak on balance, and balance is the way of life. Today, I am trying something new as far as in my video. I am showing myself, and it is more for visual because at the end of this poem, this verse of the poem that I'm gonna read, I gotta explain something about the idea that I have behind this, and I think it's easier as a visual, and for whatever it's worth. So today I'm gonna share verse two of the Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu. This particular interpretation is by Taoist master John Bray Fay. When I say interpretation, it's not because it was written in another language, although it was. It was actually written in characters, in Chinese characters, some of the most ancient ones that were more as pictures. And for that point, there's different versions, many hundreds, probably thousands of different versions and interpretations on what the pictures meant. Verse 2. As a matter of course, if you decide that something is beautiful, then something else immediately becomes ugly without you realizing it. If you enter a thought shape that dictates the parameters of what is a condition of health, then the parameters of a condition of unhealthy come forward. You create death when you decide what constitutes life. You create difficulties when you create ease. You create long when you decide what is short. You create a low tone when you sing a high one. Were you aware of the power of your own life force? When looking to the left, different tones create harmony. Whether you are truly clever or merely awake, manage your affairs without actions, and rely on fluid thinking rather than stagnant thought. Adapt to conditions that present themselves, and remember that specialization is not the useful way. Continuously create instead of acquiring, and enjoy what you create. You are important only if it is not important to you. Beautiful verse, beautiful poem. For those of you that have not read Changing the World, or I'm sorry, for you that have not seen my previous video, Changing the World, the Tao Te Ching is a verse containing 81, a poem containing 81 verses, written roughly 2,500 years ago. That is amazing how it still stands today. Why does it stand for today? I believe for one reason, because when I have a conversation, not necessarily serious but deep, I speak from here. I can speak to a Japanese, to a Hindu, to a Russian, and so far as we could communicate, and the barrier of language does not interfere, I could relate to them 100%, because when I have a deep conversation, I speak from here. I speak from the true me. I don't speak from here, from the memory banks, from the conditioning, from the useful computer and the memory chip that has been filled there. Now, this verse to me represents balance. And I'm going to go line by line. If you decide that something is beautiful, then something else becomes ugly without you realizing it. It is very true. And the book that I am attempting to write, which has proven to be a bit more difficult than I expected. I got a lot of literature, a lot of writing done on it. However, I'm only 33, and I'm not 100% confident that I have everything to say yet. I haven't acquired that wisdom that I don't want to put a halfway done book out there. although I am encouraged to do so for the meantime, and then I could put ideas as I keep on continue to grow. However, and the tree is based on the tree of life. I mean, in the book that I'm trying to write is based on the tree of life. Here's the root. Call it God, call it Yahweh, call it whatever you want to call it in different, depending on where you come from. This is the root, where the source of everything comes from, the source of life, the creator. This is the trunk. And as we grow, we grow, we grow, we grow, we grow to the top of the trunk. As we become smart, or we fill our memory banks with more information, we start going into the branches of life. Now, for the sake of argument, let's say this is Christianity. This is Catholicism, this is Judaism, this is Buddhism, this is Hinduism, and at the opposite of let's say Christianism, Christianity is atheism or agnostic. Now, by creating Christianity, what this is saying is that you as well create atheism, because if you don't believe in me, you're in here. And you're all right in your own form. And there is nothing that exists outside of this tree of life. And we are all one, and we are all beautiful, and we are all perfect in our own ways. Or in reality, we're all perfect. Not in the perfection of, let's say, our Western thought, where everything is symmetrical. However, we are perfect beings. We are a beautiful thing. However, if you stand for this, you create the very opposite of it. And if you believe this is right, then you believe this is wrong. Now, let's say this in atheism and agnosticism, there is a lot of good, a lot of beautiful ideas. They remove a lot of dogmas, a lot of unnecessary things. And here, they create in Christianity, there is many beautiful stories, many beautiful lessons, many beautiful examples, and much wisdom. And they are both beautiful in their own right. And in this whole tree, there is many beautiful things. Now, as I said, as a child, you grow here. And then maybe you start learning about Jesus and the way that Jesus walked. And then you go further, and you go further into the religion, and you become very smart in it. Therefore, you're here in these beautiful branches. However, the further you go this way, the more you disagree with this way. And I believe it becomes unbalanced. As the next verse says, if you enter a thought shape that dictates the parameters of what is a condition of health, then parameters of a condition of unhealthy come forward. You create death when you decide what constitutes life. You create difficulties when you create ease. You create long when you decide what is short. You create low tone when you sing a high one. This is what they mean. It means if you believe in this, you're creating the very opposite. The further you go into this branch, the more branches are created in the very opposite, where you're aware of the power of your own life force. And most people do not. Most people believe if I start this organization for the greater good of people, in reality, the way that nature, the laws of nature work, you're also creating the very opposite. Because if you stand for this, there's people that do not, and they are to be here, or anywhere here, or here, or here, here. Regardless, it's the point of balance. When looking to the left, different tones create harmony. I can't say exactly what John Frey means by that. I can't say what Lao Tzu meant by that. But I can give you my interpretation. What's the opposite of left? Right. right happens to be a judgment. So if I'm looking right, I'm saying this is right. Therefore, I'm creating what is wrong. Now, they say when looking to the left, different tones create harmony. If I'm not looking right, then I'm looking left. I'm saying there is no judgment. I have no judgment on any of these branches. They are all beautiful and they make up this beautiful tree. Therefore, how could I say any of it is bad? How could I say any of it is right? It is all right. It is all beautiful. Therefore, I'm looking to the left, creating harmony within all of it. Whether you're truly clever or merely awake, manage your affairs without actions. I'm not creating this organization. I'm not standing for this, for I create the opposite, which is not what I want. I want harmony within all. Adapt to conditions and present themselves, and remember that specialization is not the useful way. Specialization means I'm here. This is the branches, and I get smarter in these branches, and I keep on going, and I keep on going within the branches, within the branches. Ironically, I'm moving away from the trunk. And where does the life force come? From the roots. And why am I going to want to go further and further and further? If anything, I myself want to be at the trunk, within this trunk, because in this trunk is the source of life. I can't say I am God, although I can in many ways. I'm not going to get into that. But here is God at the root of everything. Here I am in the trunk, in the tree of life. And I look at all the beauty within us and all the beauty in this world and in this universe. That's a beautiful part of it. And without you, I cannot exist. Without you, I cannot exist. Without you, I cannot exist, because we are all one in this beautiful tree of life. Manage your affairs without actions, and rely on fluid thinking rather than stagnant thought. Stagnant thought for me is here. Stagnant thought is this condition. You know, fluid thinking is I'm the fluid that goes through all the branches, and it's a beautiful thing, and it goes in a complete circle. I go through these branches, I come back. Go through these branches, I come back. However, I'm here, balanced in the trunk of life, enjoying the beauty of it all, being part of the beauty of it all. Only in my mind could I be separate from you, from you, from you, from you, from you, from anything. We are one. You are important only if it's not important to you. I love that. I love that. That is part of the ego. You know, it's not about me. It's about us. We're all a beautiful thing. And I hope that you enjoyed this segment of the video. Once again, that was verse 2 of the beautiful poem, Tao Te Ching. There's many versions. I for one got a few versions. Some of them don't do it for me. This one is my favorite one. The Tao Te Ching, how to, translated by Taoist master John Braithwaite. It's a beautiful version. It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful poem written 25 years ago, and it still stands strong today. So I'll see you tomorrow, or you'll see me, or maybe you won't see me. Maybe you'll see a blank screen. All right. Cheers. Live responsibly.